All right, everybody, we're down here dyeing some traps. We got a bunch of walnuts in that brew bag there, just the hulls. Picked them up out of my brother's yard there in West Virginia. Put them in that bag. Now we're just kind of steeping that oil and dye juices out of that, out of those hulls. We only got about a dozen traps to do. So this pot, we can get away with this little pot. Obviously we're doing it in my backyard here in the middle of a subdivision, but duck season's about to end. That gives us the ability to start running footholds. We haven't been running footholds so far. We've just been running dog proofs, just so we don't mess with any of the guys that may be having their dogs out for duck season and stuff like that. We could run them, but it's just one of those things as a courtesy, we just don't. We still have from basically the 1st of February to the 1st of March to run these footholds, try to catch some bobcats, maybe catch some coyotes. I mean, probably catching a lot more coons and possums in them, but we got that steep in there. We got about 7 traps in the bottom of that right now, but over here we got some brand new Duke 550 Pro Series foothold traps. As you can tell, they've been sitting in this tank today. We put Dawn dish soap in there and vinegar, just try to, you know, get them a little rusty and knock off that factory oil so we can actually get them set. Jeremy's traps, there's like 7 of them in there. They're all been used before, so we just knocked the rust off those, and we're gonna be hopefully getting a good dye on these, and then we'll dump this water out and melt some wax on some clean water. As you can see, I'm using an open flame, so I'm not gonna just do a pot of wax. I don't want to fire and I don't want to burn the wax, so we'll let these simmer. Once we get this to a boil, I'll take that bag out and then throw those rest of those traps in there. Fill the water level up above the traps, and then we get them dyed, pull them out, hang them, let them dry off a little bit, and then get us a pot of water, melt some wax on top of it, and coat them. So I'll give you guys an update when I pull this bag out of here and throw those other traps in. All right, guys, a little update. So I took that bag out so I can fit those traps in there, filled it up with water. When I took the bag out, I put it in this bucket, and then I took the hose, just pushed the water through the bag of walnut hulls so I could get all that extra dye out of there. And then that's what I used to fill this pot up the rest of the way. So we're gonna, you can see there's just a little bit of oil on there, so we're gonna get these we'll turn that heat up, get these to a rolling boil, leave them in there for about 30 minutes, and see what we come up with. Just a rolling. It's been like this for about 20 minutes now, so we'll see how they look after about 45 minutes. Oh, there goes the old dog. He wanted to be in the video, so. All right. We'll cut it off and then get it back once we pull them out of here and see how they do. See if those new traps took any of the dye. All right, guys. Unfortunately, it got dark on us, so we're doing this with a flashlight. But as you can see, these newer traps, they didn't really take that dye so well. Jeremy's older traps definitely got a little bit darker, but I think we cleaned them too much, knocked too much of the rust off of them, so that dye didn't really have anything to like hold on to. So that's what we're dealing with. I'm gonna get some wax put on them here in the dark, but these should work. I mean, hopefully by the time they see them, they're caught anyway. So next year, we'll leave a little bit more rust on them and see if we can't get a little bit darker dye on them. All right, decided to wait until the morning to do the waxing part since we ran out of light there last night. Of course, it's cloudy and slightly raining, but I got a whole 1 pound block of wax in there just because I didn't want to bother splitting it up. And we'll get this heated up, get our traps dipped through this wax, and they should be good to go. Hopefully we start catching stuff here shortly. All right, guys, as you can see, that wax block is melted down. I'm just doing 2 traps at a time here, letting them sit in that water for, almost a minute, and then pulling them back up through that wax, and that way they get a nice thin coating on them. Got a couple of them done over here, as you can see. Nice shiny small thin coat of wax is all we're looking for. All right, there they are, all dyed and waxed. You can see these older traps definitely took on a little bit more of that dye than the newer traps, but I think we still cleaned these old traps off too much. They've been sitting in Jeremy's garage for probably 2 or 3 years without being used, so they were pretty rusted. So I think we did a little bit too much on the cleaning of them, but we'll see how she goes. First attempt at doing it this way, so we'll see if we can actually catch anything. I think we will, but you never know. It's all trial and error, so we'll see how she goes.